Today, we don't just consume news, we navigate it. On the third Shusha Global Media Forum, this phrase is very often said by the media experts. In a time where truth competes with speed and facts must fight of space among feeds, the third Shusha Global Media Forum steps in not just as a global event, but as a response to a global media turning point. Held in the symbolic city of Shusha, a place of a cultural revival and strategic vision, the forum gathered voices from across the world and professionals, policymakers, academics, and digital innovators, all converging under one vital theme: digital pathways, strengthening information and media resilience in the age of artificial intelligence. But what did that look like in the practice? Let's hear from the experts themselves.
Let's begin by saying that this issue is fundamental because the future of the Caucasus, like its past, depends on it. I deeply respect President Aliyev for saying that there are indeed no fundamental differences between Armenia and Azerbaijan in terms of national and political interests. The real problem lies in the ideology of occupation, an ideology that has long prevented our development. If Yerevan can overcome this, not in words but in action, then progress is possible. 2 points are key. First, the dissolution of the Minsk Group of OSCE. Why? Because the Minsk Group of OSCE is about the status of Karabakh, and there can be no question about the status of Karabakh. The second point concerns the Armenian constitution. It must no longer contain territorial claims against Azerbaijan. These two steps would form the foundation, but only the foundation, of a long process we call cooperation between Armenia and Azerbaijan, which is essential for building the future of the entire region.
Вот знаете, даже меня-то очень тронула история сбитого азербайджанского.
I was especially moved by the story of the Azal passenger plane that barely made it across the Caspian after being hit twice. When asked about it, the president answered openly, "Russia must take responsibility." He didn't hide from the consequences. He spoke plainly, even though it may carry political cost. One short phrase stood out to me: never give up. That message, I believe, applies to all people, all nations. In the early 1990s, Azerbaijan faced isolation, propaganda, disinformation, and had over 1 million refugees. 20% of its territory was gone, no hope in sight. The most painful question President Aliyev heard back then when visiting refugee camps was, "When will we return home?" Many are still haunted by that question. But yesterday's message was clear: never give up. The answer is in your heart and your actions. Don't wait for miracles. Act. Believe. That's why this forum touches me so deeply. It carries a different character this year, and it reminds us, we journalists must be brave, must write the truth, no matter the cost. President Aliyev inspired me yesterday to write even more openly.
So I found it very interesting when I asked President Aliyev where he thought the future trajectory of that relationship between Baku and Washington is going. And he was very frank that he viewed President Trump as someone who is bringing peace to the region. He expressed thanks and appreciation for President Trump's role in attempting to broker a finalized peace deal between Azerbaijan and Armenia. And I thought it was also very significant that President Aliyev mentioned the commonalities in values between the Trump administration and Azerbaijan and the Azerbaijani people. So given the fact that relations between the United States and Azerbaijan under President Biden were exceptionally poor, in fact, that was another point that was raised by President Aliyev yesterday, there seems to be renewed hope here in Azerbaijan that with President Trump in the White House, that this could be a new era of cooperation, perhaps even strategic cooperation between the two countries. So